Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Enchantress.
Dire team pick.
Lion.
Radiant team pick.
Witch Doctor.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Bat Rider!
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Life Stealer.
Dire team pick.
Lycan.
Radiant team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Dark Seer.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick.
Ember Spirit.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Puck!
Well, welcome back to the floor of the Cybersports Arena, game number 2 of this best of 3, and so far it's looking a little lopsided. OG really got to get it together and live up to their namesake. OGs never die, man, and yeah, they're up against elimination now as VGR just flat rolled them over in game 1. Coming into game 2, what jumps off the screen as the key points for both sides right now?
10
Miracle
seconds
Ember Spirit,
remaining.
get it online fast, let him take control of the game. He did it in both wins
5
over
seconds
Alliance. He was on this
remaining.
hero. He's got a good matchup against Mikasa in terms of player versus play. He's got a good matchup in terms of the heroes, and he's got the Enchantress to roam mid as well. So for OG, it's all about that mid lane, all about the Ember Spirit. For VGR, it's about their off lane. Darkseer and Doom together, these two can put tremendous pressure onto the safe lane of OG.
Well, it looks like we do have a quick pause, so we'll have a few minutes before we're ready to jump into the action. But yeah, it looks like just a quick reconnect. No, I completely agree with you. That's what intrigues me as well, is how much pressure they're going to be able to put on from minute 1. And we've seen how quickly things can really spiral out of control. And, well, we got a pretty damn good look at it last game. It started out kind of slow, back and forth. Before you know it, OG just ran away with it. What do you think of the prediction that we're going to see some cheese, the Ion Shell, the Surge, all that kind of stuff? Do you believe this is a
good.
like? Is this a legitimate program? Is this just some cheese that maybe you can catch your opponent off guard with? But how do you feel about it in general?
The Ancient Creep has definitely been integrated into pretty much all pro lifestealer play. It's whether or not you go for the full Radiance, which is that's more the gimmicky, generally not seen part of the lifestealer. But for me, taking an Ancient Creep is core. Like, you want to do that when you're pushing towers. You get your lifesteal inside an Ancient. He goes in, and even more so when you get level 2 or level 3 infest, the damage output from this spell, it gets really big, and you can get it starts the cooldown. So if you can get 2 infests off in a fight, burst the Ancient Creep, then a second one, that's an 800 AoE damage nuke at level 16. Before that, it's still a decent 550 damage at level 11. So well worth using the infested Ancient Creep into a fight.
Well, and you know, it's becoming a bit of an emerging story. Like, the Lifestealer's seen a fair amount of play at this event so far, at least from what I understand in comparison to others. So seeing him picked up, seeing him really being considered more than just a surprise kind of pocket pick, not something that you know, is certainly not as core to most teams' game plans as, say, a Puck or a Lion, Enchantress certainly, but a hero that's really seeing his star rise. So it's fun to watch that develop out here. 10 seconds till the rune spawn. Let's see how things are going to set up. Looks like Miracle going to chase our chained hero away. And yeah, he'll double back. He'll be taking this, and up at top, looks like it's going to be the same true of VGR as they give it to the Puck. So as the heroes head to lane, let's take a look at who's handling who. That Lifestealer we're just talking so much about, he'll be farming the safe lane. He's going to be played by End. Doom going to be handled by FY, and we'll see where he's going to wind up. He's gone boots first, but making his way now into his own jungle. The Witch Doctor's going to be helping out bottom lane. It's going to be played by DDC. Puck, no surprise, played by Mikasa. Played a great Wind Ranger in game 1. Now looking to have that same effect with our Shakespearean hero. And then, of course, Yang on the Darkseer. He's going to be out in the off lane. We can actually see, I want to just take a moment to interrupt myself and look at where FY is wound up. He's all the way over here at the enemy side lane camp.
Oh, bad right at bottom lane. Has taken a lot of damage. May give up a first blood. Moon's Fairy Fire will save his life.
Well, I guess we'll pick it up there. Just keep. Oh! Look at him. He's actually gonna get the courier. Oh, he tracked it down. Did it on the bounty. And someone expected there. I thought he was hanging out just to, like, it's so brilliant. He devoured the big creep out of the lane and then just hooked himself and went and got it. Beautiful play and a big lead straight off the bat for VGR. I am going to get through this. So OG has Fly playing on the line as he's pulling the camp and helping out in top lane. Enchantress played by Crit, going to work in his jungle. Ember Spirit played by Miracle here in mid. the Bad Rider played by Moon. We saw him dodge a bullet or two down at bottom, but the Lycan's going to be far and by no tail.
That is some next level career sniping. Enchantress just pings it now, like almost as if someone in TeamSpeak was just saying like, what happened? How did you lose? How does Doom kill a courier? Like who messed up? Who misplayed? But there was no mistake there. It was just a Boots Doom.
Boots smoke Doom going up there at minutes, basically, minute 1 to make that happen.
What a start. Enchantress now looking to get active on the map, has got 2 neutral creeps smoke up towards his mid lane. Hoping perhaps that the puck's going to make a direction towards that top room, but instead it's Fly securing a haste, and I don't think this Darkseer's got a good way out of this game.
No, I'm actually surprised that wasn't responded. He should have seen that happen. I know the Enchantress was smoked, but still, she's on the map and crit. But no, he had a ward there.
He sees the hasted Lion, but the Lion alone can't kill him, which is why he plays a bit greedier there. Because the Enchantress is smoked, that game's worked. So you can fault him a little bit because Enchantress is missing from the map, but your assumption is that Enchantress is in the jungle.
Understandable. Down at bottom, the Doom is playing a little bit more orthodox this time. He is, he's sitting at 195 mana for now, so you actually can't use the Tornado, but eventually he will be using that on a stack, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, he's hoping actually to find he's got Devour up. He wants to find either a Satyr, which is actually there if he searches a bit more, or a Mud Golem. He's going to stack this and hope for a Mud Golem. Although, it's actually, you can't stack this to the right. Bit of a misplay from FY.
Yeah.
Annoying little camp. This camp, you want to stack it and then kind of, check the room, which you can't do in 3 minutes to begin with, but...
check the room in 3 minutes?
Yep, that's some next level FY plays, but...
just making sure it's not there.
He actually devoured the Perch Creep, so I think it was just devouring a Perch Creep and then making its way towards mid lane.
Gotcha.
Diakery is back, Bottle, Magic Stick, the Miracle, Ember Spirit in mid lane, going to be a lot happier now.
Well, let's see, the Enchantress going to be found by FY. Yang's there, but he doesn't have a ton of mana. He does have a Scorched Earth. He does go ahead and use the Purge. And he has the Scorched Earth if he wants to do something with it. But, I mean, what can you do, I suppose? Crit using the Nature's Attendance, just forcing him to burn some mana, it seems.
Little did FY know, there was
attack.
actually no point in Untouchable. He could have gone for an Infernal Blade there. Typically, you can never Infernal Blade an Enchantress with Untouchable, but Crit plays a very unique skill build with this Enchantress. Focusing much more towards the Nature's Attendance heal.
Moon is taken to the jungle, beginning to clear some stacked camps. He's level 4.5 now, 500 gold tucked away. In a relatively quiet early game, we saw the crazy courier snipe and the first blood, of course, but since then it's kind of settled down. How do you feel the status quo is looking for both sides right now?
It's looking great for VGR in my mind. They've gotten a decent amount of farm on all their core heroes. Mikasa is holding his own in mid against Miracle on Puck. He's matching him for farm. A lot of this comes back to the courier snipe, which just meant that OG couldn't be as active in the map. A hero like an Enchantress, you possibly want to bring out a smoke so you can go get active. Did have the one smoke later on, but the first smoke getting, finding the Darkseer, getting first blood is nice, but it's not quite the outcome for the early game laning stage that OG would have hoped for.
Yeah. I think the Darkseer is doing quite well, especially in comparison to the Bat. I mean, the Bat went and took stacked jungle camps, and he's just about tied with Yang's DS. So, once again, another solid off-lane performance. And, I love the DS pick, I always have. I mean, when you look at this lineup, what do you think is the natural synergy, other than the obvious, which is vacuum into coil?
There's not a huge amount of teamfight wombo combo out of this. You can, you vacuum into the coil, I guess the coil, and have the lifesteal just pop out from an infest. But more than anything, it just gives them like a good hero to carry the mech. It also contests the lanes, and it's going to allow them to just have a teamfight edge over the OG side. So we'll see what the lifesteal does as far as his involvement with the Darkseer. Iron Shell onto the Infested Ancient Creep was something that the panelists talked about. Iron Shell in general, just on Lifestealer, on Doom, is going to be big. So, more than anything, I feel like Darkseer's actually picked up for the Iron Shell and the Surge this game than the actual vacuum combos.
Yeah, it makes sense. I see, and that's the kind of thing. I want to make sure I wasn't missing anything.
Yeah.
You saw the obvious, but I knew there were. And that's why we have you here, and I just make noises, and you fill people's brains.
You do much more than make noises, Aaron.
Depends on who you ask. Anyway, Miracle in some trouble, and there's going to be a coil. He will make it away. He's going to spot the bounty rune. He will go and throw another remnant that's going to be to a stack creep camp. Either way, he's going to make it away back to safety. And up atop in the meantime, that pushing power of No Tail not quite at full potential as he is short of level 6, but you know, it's so tough. Even when you're this strong, the Ion Shell can slow things down. This tower's still sitting at about half health. Yang is there, as is FY. And I don't know, let's see what level is FY, still just 4.
They're ready to try and fight this one. Notel preemptively ulting. Trying to secure this tower, but the beauty of putting that Ion Shell onto himself, he's now got another Ion Shell. He can double up, get FY with an Ion Shell as well, and this tower will be defended. Notel either was scared of a gate there or perhaps thought he could go for a kill with the Lion, but as soon as Doom popped out, he quickly realized, hey, gotta get back.
Yeah, and you know, Darkseid's going to be able to hold this tower for quite some time. I mean, if he just keeps Ion Shelling and avoiding any potential pressure, yeah, you're not going to slow the Lycan's farm down, and that's a concern in and of itself, but just being able to keep this one tower up a little bit longer can make quite a big difference.
Now, they'll team with the Lion, always look at that level 6 timing, and Fly on pretty good track to hit that sometime in the next minute or two, so that's where we'll probably see the next big smoke play come out of OG, try and use that finger to find a core hero pick-off, but for now, they want to get that fast tower, but VGR ready to contest this top lane, have smoked up both Puck and Doom.
Yang has a little bit of mana. He did put a point into wall at 6. Doesn't have a point to vacuum, oddly enough. Let's see if they're going to be able to find a target. There's the coil onto Fly. Fly silence that to try to TP away. Yep, bashed out of it. And he will get off an Earth Spike before he drops, but he drops nonetheless. So we end up seeing VGR find their way onto the board. In mid, in the meantime, looks like there was a kill onto the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, Miracle, presumably. As soon as that gate happens, like Miracle knows that there's no one sitting behind Witch Doctor mid, so it becomes a quote-unquote free kill for him. As we'll see, Miracle claim the top rune, and to outright click Mikasa to grab that one. So he's level 8 in a bit. Mikasa slightly behind. He's going to find himself instead up. Miracle not going for the kill here.
Miracle, like you said, level 8, coming up on level 9 for too terribly long. And, you know, I'm looking across, I mean, Crit so far, he's 1-0-0, he had that opening first blood. Do you feel like he's doing enough work on the Enchantress right now, or like he needs to be doing a bit more?
He's been very good at just harassing and assisting the lanes. We've seen him send neutral creeps towards this mid lane continuously. We've seen him stack some of the jungle camps, and then the one successful first blood, but it has been a much quieter Enchantress performance than what we saw earlier in the tournament. If anything, today we've seen a number of Enchantress picks just not work out too well.
Yang in some trouble, speaking of not working out too well, hanging around in the wrong part of town a little too long. And that's going to give OG their 3rd kill of the game, and they're beginning to show their combat potential fairly well.
Now, if they can get this tier 1 tower off, that will be the important objective that OG have been aiming for some time. Miracles rotate up top, and it's pretty much entirely to try and secure the tower. They didn't need him for the kill, but to make sure they get this tower as well, he is needed.
Goes to the TP in, short of level 6 on the Doom. However, there's the Lifestealer. Manages to grab Notel with the open wounds. Notel doesn't have his ulti. He's going to be able to brought down by the Saber, as a matter of fact. And now there's a 2-mana spike going to buy some time. He hit 6 in the middle of that. He actually was short of it, but when that fight broke out, is this going to be enough? It's going to be close. I think he'll survive.
By hitting that impale, preventing any extra right clicks, saving Miracle there in the end. So really nice defensive play coming out from Fly's Lion, and salvages the situation a bit. And OG now find themselves hitting level 6 on Lion as Moon farms up enough money for a Blink Dagger. That plus Lion, that's like your 2-hero smoke. Everyone else is like, you're telling your Lycan, farm the map, we're gonna go create some space for you. You're even telling Miracle, you can farm as well if you want, because that Lion are gonna kill anyone they want right now with these two item/level pickups.
Miracle grabs it into his room. He's very low. He'll use a bottle charge afterwards. He's going to be moving down the bottom. It looks like they've got eyes on DC. Really wanting to put this push power of the Lycan to good work early on. TP's going to be in. That's going to be Mikasa. And let's see. Yeah, he's actually going to go and grab the creeps and pull them over. Miracle knows at least Mikasa's there. We can see the trap beginning to close. As Kratos set up with his menagerie of creeps. Notel right there to the north as well. DDC hanging out, not yet level 6. He's going to throw the cast. That's going to slow the creeps down and do a fair amount of damage. That's probably going to be enough to actually turn this away. And now they're going to go ahead and chase them down. Crit's going to be dropping the coil. Miracle going to be trying to caging. Very low health is going to be bursted down by Fly's finger. And now they're going to try to turn this around. DDC did manage to get away just by the skin of his teeth. Searing Chains did not go off.
Yeah, it was just barely on cooldown, and VGR have to just completely ditch that bottom tier 1 tower. They're trying to find trades elsewhere on the map now. The tier 1 tower mid gets glyphed. I don't even think they'll be able to take it before OG responds. And Yang at least getting some good farm towards his mech up top, but OG momentum favoring them here in the early game.
Yeah, that was a very, very big engagement for OG. As we can see, they actually take the lead for the first time all game and getting some momentum under their belt. Very important whenever you talk about a Lycan lineup. I mean, how many times have we seen it, David, where a Lycan is maybe doing okay farming well, then you just run into one or two bad team fights and suddenly he's sputtering for the next 15 straight minutes.
And when you're on the dire side as well with this Lycan, it just means that natural progression towards Roshan taking towers and objective, it just flows so naturally. That's where last game, BGR just snowball out of control. They get 1 or 2 towers, they get the momentum, they take Roshan, and it becomes a very clear just flow from one objective to the next, and you just kind of transition really well into the mid game and then into the late game if you need to.
There's going to be a smoke out of VG. They did just pick up the mech on Yang. Doesn't have the mana, does have the soul ring though, so he is rather mana starved at this stage of the game, but he is regenerating at a decent rate, so should be able to get a fair amount done. And yeah, Arcane Boots pretty good to help with that, huh?
They run Fly, not the ideal target, but it's a target.
Fly level 7. I mean, this is, you know, he's not terribly under level. I mean, he's the same level as the Doom and the Darkseer, so I mean, not a bad target there.
Yeah. It's something, and they're also remaining grouped up in this mid lane, so hoping to get a tier 1 tower to follow it up with the Lion dead.
And the tier 1 should end up dropping, as you said. Down it goes. Lycan, in the meantime, is continuing to farm away as Vlad's is done. And we'll see how they want to make use of that. It's going to be a Midas pickup on the Doom.
Oh, we haven't seen much Midas Doom. Normally, it's FY, he plays a bit greedier some of the time, but mech already complete on Darkseer. So when you see like the Arcane Boots, sometimes you'll see a mech follow-up from Doom, sometimes you get the drums, but FY deciding to look to secure a bit more late game for the VGR side.
How do you feel about the late game matchup here, if it does go very, very late, say 40 plus, 50 plus minutes?
I mean, Doom is just incredible late game with the ability to instantly take out one, and if you go Refresher, 2 heroes at the start of a fight. I look at Batrider as well as a great late game hero if there's nothing to counterplay the lasso with. In this game, there isn't that like kind of insta counterplay. There's no Venge swap. There's no like Oracle, False Promise. So Batrider is going to be a great hero to have there as well. Ultimately, I think it will come down largely to the execution there. The carries, like Lycan, will fall off a little bit, but Lifesteal's in the same boat. These melee carries do get kited somewhat once you get to that late game stage.
OG trying to make something happen with the smoke there.
Oh, they've got great vision here in this mid lane. FY is going to be very careful.
Someone TPing in, that'll be Yang. And they're going to go for it. Yang soul ring off, so even looking at less of he would have had to work with otherwise. And now FY actually wandered into harm's way as well. Caught between 2 towers. Don't worry, that won't be a problem anymore as the tier 1 drops. And that's going to be 7-3, and OG on the brink of elimination come out firing hard here in game number 2. And now they turn their eyes, their claws, and I guess their spears and everything else on Roshan.
It was really just patient play. They had the vision there, so they don't just have to jump on the Doom who they see first. They want to wait to make sure they can get more, because they had such a positional and vision advantage. They wait till they see the more important target, the Darkseer. They kill him before he even gets a chance to use mech, and then they get the subsequent kill.
Here we go, he's going to come out, there's the Lifestealer bomb, Flies immediately bursted down, and now just look at him go to work! Crit! Just being brought down bit by bit. Here we go, coming in from the back is going to be Moon though. Death Ward canceled by the Batrider. Now they're going to turn back on him, so a valiant effort out of VGR, but ultimately going to result in a triple kill going to the one person you wish you did not give it up to. That Ember Spirit played by Miracle. Really love the gutsiness of it all, but blows up in their face in a big way.
Yeah, if they get there a little bit sooner before Roche goes down, it could go a little bit better, but ultimately they had no lockdown, no way of controlling the Ember Spirit, and in a game like this, you're going to be incredibly worried. They don't have the bread and butter DDC Lion to lock him down. They don't have a good answer as far as controlling Miracle. The Blink Puck silence is nice, and if the Lifestealer has enough farm, you can try and blow him up with that Infest Bomb, but that's really all there is to it.
Radiant's bottom
Now we got a
tower is
look
under
at
attack.
what this Lifestealer is going to be capable of. Been relatively quiet outside of an engagement up at top quite a bit ago, at least it feels like a long time ago. Does have an armlet up, now has his Sange, so we know what kind of damage he's going to be able to pour on. It's just a matter of is it too late? Is it too little too late?
And there's good control for him in the form of the Lion and the Batrider. Batrider's lasso goes through the rage if needed, and Lion, you can blink Hex and catch him before he manages to pop a rage if Lifestealer isn't careful. So this is not going to be the easiest game for him to dish out all the damage he'd like to.
Well, he's going to get another opportunity to show us how it's done as 3-man smoke gank crossing the river now. DDC leading the way, FY's behind him, Mikasa with the passenger, so 4-man smoke gank. And let's see if they're going to be able to find themselves a target. Lycan Wolf moving up.
This could catch OG really by surprise because of that thinking they're safe with that Lycan Wolf.
No, looks like they may have. Yep, we see a lot of pings going off. In the meantime, Miracle's under an invis rune. He's got eyes on Yang.
And they, I believe, caught a tiny bit of vision there as they smoke up themselves and they're looking to contest VGR, who have a lane ward. And again, these wards being bypassed. Really great smoke use from both teams.
And here we go. They're going to hook up with Yang. Yang, level 10. So short of his level 2 ultimate. And here we go. Miracle's going to go on in and be caught out. He's silenced out. And now he is just chopping away. Here comes Smooth little lasso onto Yang. Miracle manages to make it out of the line of fire. Greater spike coming out of Fly. Seems like I'm saying that a lot these days. Miracle doing what damage you can, trying to keep himself safe. Bad from behind, doesn't matter. As he's able to chase down and find that life stealer, send him packing. Next on the list, FY, and Moon there with the flame break just to secure the kill. That's going to be 4 down, and I agree, Miracle, unstoppable on this Ember Spirit, still has not lost that Aegis despite 2 huge team fights going the way of the original gangsters.
Yeah, this is why you first stage line and deny it from VGR. Without that extra bit of follow-up lockdown, they can't kill Miracle in time. They actually get him into silence with the Infest Bomb, but they didn't have the damage they needed. Perhaps that's where they want to commit the Death Ward from Witch Doctor. They waited till later on in the fight. I believe DDC is thinking, I want to throw my cask first and wait for some of the disables to be used. He waited for after the Earth Strike to throw Death Ward, so he got a long duration on Death Ward, but they didn't have the damage to kill Miracle. If they blow up Miracle at the start of the fight, he's got Aegis, so they don't even win the fight anyways, but and that's where it's just like, how do you win that fight if you're a VGR? The hero who initiates on you has an Aegis, and the only way you kill him once is by overcommitting to him. So there's just no out for VGR. It's just a straight up lost cause as soon as Miracle gets on top of them with the string chains.
Well, the end result is another dire side lead this time. OG in good shape as they're sitting at about 7,500 gold up, about 10,000 experience as well. So you're talking, you know, the life stealer. I mean, what do you do? I mean, you've got the Sange, everything seemed to be on track. You're able to do damage, you know, as the hero's built to function in a very small window of time. After that, you're kind of food if the control's on point, and it has been so far from OG. Yeah. What do you do other than just smoke? Like, that can't be the answer in its entirety.
You've got to wait out for the Aegis to expire, I believe, is going to be probably the first step for VGR, and then pick and choose your fights such that you can get a grab at the start, ensure that you get a good doom off on a high priority target, such as the Ember Spirit, the Batrider before he uses a lasso, and then just use the control that the Puck and the Witch Doctor provide. The cast, the Dream Coil, these are the key kind of tools to keep Lycan in place while you try and isolate Miracle's Ember Spirit.
Makes a ton of sense. So if you're Mikasa, I mean, this game is falling apart very early. The idea of going straight to a Hex is probably a little bit of wishful thinking. If you pivot your build on this Puck and go for something a little bit more obtainable, like a Dagon, as goofy as that is, we saw a move like that undertaken in a previous game, actually. A Puck who's just like, it's my last hope. Or do you just really hope that you manage to get the control and just add one more tool to the arsenal if you can survive long enough?
I don't think he'll get much from a Dagon, then they've got enough damage output coming with the Life Stealer and just everything else like the Death Ward, but right now, high ground coming in VGR, no defense.
I don't know if they can. Who's there? Actually managed to hold off. There's going to be a coil that went down, but it went completely, and that's going to be the end of the Strax. There's a vacuum into the wall, but don't know that it's going to matter all that much. OG just has them on the run. Mikasa takes on the Life Stealer. All there's going to be Searing Chains, caught 2 of them. That's going to put the Blink on cooldown as they're happy to go ahead and take the melee racks ostensibly for free. The Aegis expired right before.
They just push so fast with that Necro 3 timing. The Howl with the Necro books, one like misplay, and then suddenly you've lost a Rax. Yep. And VGR weren't even expecting them to go high ground there, I believe. I think it wasn't until OG started hitting the tower like, oh, we're pushing this really fast, let's just keep going for this until VGR defended. VGR just don't have the items yet to fight into. OG, the greedier build from FY means he's seeing on just the Midas with a Shadow Amulet. I believe, yeah, Shadow Blade coming out now, but Necro 3 gives you some detection. There's more than enough money floating around if OG want to buy a gem for Batrider as well. Sentry Ward's also just a possibility for Fly, so I don't see FY getting much out of this Shadowblade pickup. Ideally, as I say that, he's going to probably just find a free kill. So, what do I know? In terms of a team fight setting, he's not getting anything out of it. You're not picking this for team fights. You're getting this for the pickup.
Well, and this is also just one of those things where you're revealing that item. Oh, almost got tied.
Oh my god.
That would have been bad. But I mean, now that they know it's there, they're going to play a little differently. They're going to play a little more cautiously, and there's going to be the phase shift on Moon. Actually manages the waning rip and coil him. However, here comes some help. Mikasa, flame breaks there. Damage there.
Lasso.
Oh, man. The rich get richer. As VGR loses 2 at top, they did end up picking off the Ember, but ultimately barely worth it as this next outer tier tower, the top tier 2 is certainly going to die. I feel like that's actually a pretty big pickup for Yang. Needing the vacuum wall, not just for the vacuum wall, but having the Blink Dagger to synergize a little more easily with the Puck skin.
And at this stage, OG will be ready to probably even break through another lane fairly soon. Ember has boots to travel, so if they want to continue up towards top, they can, but Necro cooldown is what they have to play around. So 50 seconds without the Necro book, they'll back off a little bit, perhaps wait for another pick-off before they try and push, perhaps even wait for another Roshan, which will be up in the next 3 minutes. And in the sense that the Shadowblade doesn't help VGI, ideally you're finding those pickoffs in the downtime. That's what this item brings. During the downtime, in between fights, Doom will just go up on his own, try and find those kills, but when OG are going for Roshan as 5 or pushing with an Aegis, that's where the Shadowblade won't actually help you.
Well, the Roshan will be up soon. It's actually a relatively small respawn time, about 30 seconds give or take from now. We'll see another Aegis on the field. And yeah, I mean, I look at the Lycan and No-Tail has just played a really good Lycan. Lycan oftentimes, we did see the one Doofy play where he kind of phase shifted a little bit early, excuse me. But other than that, he's played cautiously when he needed to, aggressively when he needed to, may end up in trouble now. That's why he's going to find him. He's going to shapeshift, not going to matter, I don't think. I think Doom should be enough to bring him down.
Heal? He's actually fine with the heal. Wow. That'll save his life. So max out heal. Very unique crit Enchantress build. He does this most of the time. This is definitely a crit thing, but you won't see, I would say, any other Enchantress going for this build in competitive Dota today.
Well, why just skipping an untouchable entirely?
Yeah, it's very much more farm and glass cannon DPS oriented build, so you're trying to do a lot more damage in the team fight around your Impetus. Getting more stats means you have a bigger mana pool, a bigger HP pool to play around, and it's almost this mind game where people expect you to have untouchable so they don't try and right click you in a fight. We saw it with Doom earlier where he didn't want to use Infernal Blade on Enchantress. He could have done it and either pressured crit, forced him to pop a heal, or perhaps even gotten a kill, but the threat of the untouchable sometimes is just as good as the untouchable itself.
Looks like Vici want to try to make their way to the pit to contest. No, it looks like they actually maybe don't know what's going on.
You just can't really. Initiating is very tricky. We saw last time they actually got there with the puck blink in, but vision is non-existent around that area of the map. It's dire vision all over in mid lane around the Roche pit. They've got sentries to scout at the Shadowblade, and VG are not ready to contest it.
Well, with that new Aegis, this could be a game-ending push, unless Vici can dig deep. And I feel like they're in much better shape now to deal with OG. They've got the Shadow Blade; it helps a little bit in terms of just being able to skirt around the fight, maybe find the right target a little easier. We really like the blink on Darkseer, being able to work a little easier with Puck's waning ripped and coil, but it's still going to take a truly astounding initiation, and they're still going to somehow have to kill Miracle twice when he's got a Battle Fury at Yasha. No, they actually get the
VGR are just waiting on the high ground to the north, hoping to find a pickoff in this area. They're not in the high ground. They want to get the flank on.
Now they're going to try to come in from behind.
Moon's in a perfect position to scout it.
FY coming in, here we go, No-Tail's going to shapeshift, and there's going to be the vacuum walls actually off the mark. Fly gets the finger off, and Yank's going to drop in a hurry. Doom did go off on Miracle, FY taking damage from crit in the meantime as FY trying to chase it as best he can. devours a creep. In the meantime, they manage to take the Ember out of the fight. Doesn't matter. As the wolves, the creeps, and Big Daddy No Tail going to work on the racks, the main target of priority. It's a 3-for-1 as of now. And Miracle back into the fight with the Ember Spirit after healing up. GG's going to be called.
Another game 3. OG a bounce back once more, and it's the Miracle Ember Spirit. It's one OG, 3 games total today, and you've got to imagine that's going to be like maybe a high priority ban going into this final game.
Well, I can't say it was a close one. This one, once again, a lopsided victory, just with the script flipped just a bit. And a really solid outing across the board, but again, No Tail finishing 9-1 and 7.